All right, we are going to do a weekend market update. And just to start off for the agenda for today, we're going to review a high time frame on Bitcoin. We're going to do a little bit of low time frame speculation. I'm going to go through some of the general indices, SPY, triple Qs, Tesla, ARK, IWM. And then maybe I'll even add the dollar in there because I think that potentially some signal can be derived from the dollar as well. In my members videos over the last couple of days, I threw in, I believe, XRP, Doge, some of the individual miners, CLSK, Mara, Riot, as well as USDT Tether dominance. So I'm going into a bit more individual detail on some requested names in those videos, but I'm going to keep doing the weekly market update as I do. For all the subscribers, so thanks for your support, and we're going to keep this going. The members video specifically is just for more content. I get requested a lot, and got a day job, so happy to spend some extra time with some individual names and more frequency on the videos. This is a reminder. I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take what I'm saying as financial advice. Everything I talk about could go up, could go down, could go sideways. I've been doing these videos for the better part of a year and a half, since September, October, August, I can't remember, of last year, 2023. And I think Bitcoin at the time was in the mid to upper 20s. Here we are at 90K. So it's been a heck of a journey. I will say that um, the direction has been spot on. The timing is the hardest. The timing has not been spot on. So even with the analysis, always remember that just because someone has been right leading up to a certain point doesn't mean they're going to continue to be right, myself included. That being said, the markets are in an incredible position right now, and I strongly believe that the greatest gains for really everything are going to be in front of us. Really everything that I cover, should I say that, with a lot of frequency are in front of us. Here I've got a weekly chart of Bitcoin up since its inception. And this is a 2-week chart. And I've got it up in line form. And what I'm attempting to illustrate here today is a general concept, two general concepts, okay? Uh, One is, a set of circumstances as it relates to price action that occurs at previous all-time high levels. And then two, the corresponding power behind that move. So the RSI, and so remember, the way we think about RSI in terms of power behind the move is a dam breaks, and right as that dam breaks and all that water starts starts rushing down the river, there is a lot of power, a lot of pent up water behind it, and it's moving fast. A mile downstream, 6, 7 hours, 8 hours later, there still may be, a lot of water flowing, but at some point that power dissipates, even though let's say a raft that's on that water keeps moving, the power behind it dissipates. And, that might be more indicative of price continuing to climb towards the end of a move and RSI kind of coming down. That's the analogy that I think makes the most sense to me. And so what we're looking at here is that energy expressed in RSI at the bottom, but more importantly, the key level at which we've seen the biggest price appreciation in Bitcoin. Again, and just because it's happened in the past doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen in the future, but there are a set of circumstances that have occurred pretty much every single time, and so they cannot be ignored. And so that informs our probabilities, in my opinion. And those circumstances are as follows. First, I mentioned a previous all-time high. So I'm pointing that arrow here is back in 2011. This next one here is 2013, and I'm pointing at these blocks, right? These green rectangular blocks that hover over previous all-time high, or an all-time high region. And so when price kind of comes out of the reaccumulation, i.e. bear market, and then gets to that level, right? This is what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with these areas, these areas, these areas. Okay. And one thing you'll also note as well is duration of these areas. I mean, one could contend this entire, right? This is an entire reaccumulation event. This was an entire reaccumulation event. This is an entire reaccumulation event. This is an entire reaccumulation event. Okay. People can call them, you can call them a lot of different things, right? You got what looks like a cup here and a handle there. That's a reaccumulation event. You've got a kind of a rounded bottom there. You've just got a rounded bottom there, and you've got maybe, I don't know, Adam and Eve type of rounded bottom. They're all the kind of the same thing, right? Double bottom, rounded bottom, Adam and Eve. They're bottoming structures. They're reaccumulation events in Wyckoff. Now, what happens when we reach the kind of the culmination of these reaccumulation events, right? The culmination of these reaccumulation events, the end of these reaccumulation events, what happens when we look at the power behind the move breaking above 70? So now we're looking down at the RSI, this area, okay? And my vertical line, these vertical lines are what's illustrating all the way up the screen where we break above 70, which means the dam bursts, okay, which means it's impulsive. Elliott wave is very interpretive. RSI on a weekly or a 2-weekly is not, in my opinion. You get above 70, that is impulsive. I have never seen a corrective move in Bitcoin's history on a weekly chart sustain a weekly close above 70. I have not. And where's the evidence of that? Well, we're looking at it right now. We're looking at it right now, right? Right. So, bear market, bear market, bear market, right? Bear market. And where do we see any of these RSIs? No, you don't. You don't see anything sustained over that 70 region. So let me get rid of all these arrows and now bring our attention to where we are today, and that is a break back above 70 on the RSI. And if we add the confluence of these conditions, so 2-week, and also notice, right, from when this cycle started, we've got a clear downtrend in terms of power behind the move RSI, breaking above it, breaking back above 70 here. My target for RSI would be somewhere in the upper 80s, okay? Somewhere in the upper 80s. If we're going to get if this diminishing cycle return theory continues to play out, then I would expect it to be rejected in this area, right? And do something like that. If we end up not getting diminishing cycle returns, which also wouldn't surprise me, although I'm not expecting that. It's not my primary base case here. I would expect, what am I looking for to validate potentially that? Well, a break, right, of that downtrend. Because from looking at the perspective of probabilities and proportions, here we got a 39x after these conditions were met and we broke out. We got a 14x, same place in time, in power, in RSI in relation to the previous all-time high, 14x in 2017. We got a 4x in 2020, 2021. And here we are just starting this latest move potentially, as I'm claiming and speculating. And, we're at 90,000. Could it be a 3x? Could it be a 2x? right? It's been going down 39, 14, 4x. My target, my cycle target here is, you know, the 265 to 325 range. So that would line up. 9 times 4 is 36. So a 4x would be way higher than my targets. And so anything lower than that would line up with these kind of diminishing returns. That being said, I do expect to be wrong, right? Trying to call it a top target. A top target is just fun. Most everyone's going to be wrong in calling bottoms. Most everyone's going to be wrong in calling tops, right? It could go to, you know, 250 and then double in 2 weeks, right? Whenever, if and whenever that happens, like we could be wrong by orders of magnitude, but it, you know, let's say it got to 250 at some point in time. And then I would be shocked if it doubled, like a nation state major one announced it's, you know, been hoarding Bitcoin, it doubles to 500K, and then, you know, 2 weeks later it's back under 200K. Like anything could happen. Anything could happen. Um, but what I'm going to be, I don't care about the narrative as much as I care about what happens here with this power behind the move. This is a trend that started back in 2011. So for folks asking me, what am I looking for? This is what I'm looking for. I don't care about price. I want to see what price, where price is, if and when we hit this region, what happens when we hit this region, how does it react? Okay, so that's that. Next up is a little bit new, potentially new interpretation of a wave count. I'm kind of looking at, you know, on a high time frame. This is just absolutely beautiful, right? We've got this. This is a 4 hour now. The longest reaccumulation Bitcoin has ever gone, reaccumulation has ever gone on in a 35% range. It's never happened before, folks. Never happened where you've gotten this compression in such a tight range for this long a time. And so I've continued to say, if and when, and this whole region you've heard me saying, if and when we break out, I don't expect a lot of retests. I don't expect a lot of easy reentries. The hard thing to do is to if you were reaccumulating to do that, you know, here. That was hard. A lot of people thought it was going lower. Is the market going to reward people up here? You know, hey, buy a dip back at this check back. Yeah, that's traders lingo, right? Traders don't win, in my opinion. 99% of traders aren't going to win. It's like a casino. And so, you know, I'm going to zoom in here, just give you another little interpretation of how I'm potentially viewing this count now. Is I'm kind of thinking about this a little bit more. I'm expecting an extended fifth wave type of move, which means the base of that fifth wave starting may be a bit more powerful and disguised, more disguised than we think. And so I'm potentially looking at, you know, we got a 1A, B, C running flat, one, you know, a sub one here. All right, 1, 2, another running flat. Just these running flats are really common in these expansive trends because they trick a lot of people. And then kind of coming out of that, we've got, you know, potentially 3, 4, 5 into 3. I could see us making a sub 4 and then into the year-end rally, you know, 129, 130, 135 would not surprise me at all. This is a powerful trend we are witnessing right here, folks. And the bias here has to be just quicker, faster, shallower. Quicker, faster, shallower, in my opinion. Notice, folks, when I was doing these back when I was comparing the proportion to these dips right before, what did I note? Shallower and quicker, shallower and quicker. And I use fibs to illustrate that, shallower and quicker. And so the expectation should be shallower and quicker until we get to a level in which we're going to see some liquidations. I don't think we're there now, but there's going to be like a flash crash where, you know, I could see market getting to 100K. It's on the news, big deal. You know, Trump's getting ready to make, you know, be pro crypto and all that. Everyone starts buying, and we see like a 2-day move from 100 and, you know, wherever if and where we get to 115, 110, 112, 2-day move down to 93, right? But then it gets bought up and we get a V-shaped recovery. So anything is possible. I'm probably going to be wrong on the way I'm trying to project this volatility because, again, when you're trying to do that on the short, low time frame, like I've been right in terms of these moves so far, right? You guys have been following these, right? On Twitter, I've been right pretty close, which means I have to be wrong. I have I'm not going to go, 15 for 15 or 15 for 18, right? In terms of projecting where this is going to go. That's just, again, it's a law of like you sit down at a poker table or a blackjack table, you can win your first 6 hands, 7 hands. If you're sitting down for 2 hours, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. And if you keep thinking that you're going to be able to guess. So this is more just for fun. There's nothing actionable here at all. At all. All right, SPY. SPY daily. SPY daily looks fantastic, folks. We got an incredible flush on Friday. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me do one more thing here. I wanna tie two things together while we talk about. Look at this flush we got on Friday on SPY. Okay. Same with Nasdaq. Huge moves down. Let's go back to Bitcoin. What did Bitcoin do? Right. I mean, it just, I mean, look at this, just consolidating after such a de-risking event on Friday. And so what this tells me is, again, going back to such massive reaccumulations, where else did we see a massive reaccumulation? When I started doing these videos, right? And so the closest thing from a massive reaccumulation event we have is what we saw for 6 months from March of 2023 to October of 2023. And coming out of it, if you'll remember, I said I'm not expecting any retests of that region, and we didn't. We just had this straight up channel, right? Impulse, correction, correction, impulse, flat, rising, running flat type of correction. And so this is the closest best analogy in terms of historical price action that we can see for what's going on today and Friday. Again, I don't like saying one day is indicative of anything, but a point in 1.28% down on on SPY, and Bitcoin, performs like it does. That's not an accident. It's not an accident. Right now, Bitcoin is the strongest performing relative to any asset class there is, and that's demonstrated multiple ways. You can take Bitcoin on TradingView, divided by SPX, divided by Nasdaq, divided by the dollar, divided by the Nikkei, anything. All right, back to SPY. We've got could there be some more downside ahead? Sure. But the order block, the key area of interest here is this previous all-time high region from early October. It held. We've got this breakaway gap, right? Breakaway gap. VIX up 20% on Friday. You couldn't close this breakaway gap. And you also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row of selling. When's the last time you had 5 days in a row of selling? Red days on the Nasdaq or on the S&P. I don't know. I don't see any. I don't see any here on the chart. Right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like where are they? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. April 2024. That was the pivot. Right here of major reversal. Okay, so that's the last time there, and I'm just quickly scanning, but again, I just don't see it. 1, 2, 3. And so the point I'm making here, folks, is this is a position of strength. The markets are in a position of strength right now. You've had this massive drawdown over the course of, well, not massive, right? Literally drawdown to fresh all-time highs, and we're sitting at 585, right? Like, check yourself a little bit. But you get where I'm going. This breakaway gap is defended. A breakaway gap after Trump was elected is a sign of power in that they don't get filled. And 5 selling days in a row doesn't mean it can't get filled, Doesn't mean we can't go down, get a little relief bounce, A, B, C. All that's in play. However, I just wouldn't be surprised that my base case assumption here is this is a powerful uptrend that's just beginning, and the markets are again, if and when this reverses, my expectation is, somewhere in the mid 600s before any really real correction occurs. QQQ's weekly chart here, again, very constructive. I've got the 5, 9, and 20 weekly EMAs up. And where are we? Where are we sitting? We breached the 5. Okay. We're above the 9. We're above the 20. What's the key order block here? What am I looking at? I'm looking at this area where the market reversed, right? The area of price action where the market reversed. Couldn't close above it, 1, 2, and then above it, and now we're now resting above it. That's where the market stopped on Friday. That's bullish continuation probabilities to me. The highest probability is bullish continuation until proven otherwise with these structures. And so again, could I be wrong? Absolutely. Could we be going down, a little bit further? Sure. Could we be getting a relief bounce and then one more leg? Sure. However, I don't care. I'm here to, to project the trend, and this trend is very, very clear on the Qs. I'm going to do some bonus videos for the members on what I'm looking for topping signals on the high time frame on the Nasdaq. I don't think we're anywhere near it, nowhere near it. In fact, I think we could be setting up for potentially even a multi-year type rally. But again, that's just speculation. But for now, what do we see? We see a clear trend, and it's up and to the right. And so nothing of worry as it relates to the Nasdaq. Tesla, this is a lot of fun. I haven't been doing a lot of videos on Tesla. I think the first one I did was, I don't know, we were somewhere in this area that I'm circling. This is a weekly chart. This is in line form because line form on this chart gives me the most clarity. We're waiting for max opportunity. The C level, got it. And then we've been projecting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so far, this interpretation looks to be valid. Where did we close on Friday again? You see we do these green rectangles, right? They're at key inflection points in the market, and I'd really like going back to Elliott wave pivot points to draw them. And so the Elliott wave pivot point, if we go back to January 2021, 3, 4, 5 of what I'm calling 3. Okay. And so the top here, that's where this supply region is that I've highlighted, and we go all the way across, and you kind of reclaim that. And so that to me is just bullish for continuation. I don't like calls here. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This thing has run a lot, right? Spot's the way to go. If you're thinking about options, again, be ready to lose all your money. I only look at that stuff with very small percentages. And I may look at something like that if we get a check back. If we do get a, run to 400 plus, I'd be looking for some type of check back into the high 3s. If we were to get it, to maybe look at some type of little fun call position. But for right now, this is just for those that have accumulated. I think this is a very constructive looking uptrend. 30-week is just starting, right? Just starting to coil up. Love seeing that because that's the potential. And then, these numbers could happen a lot faster if I'm correct than people think. All right, ARK. Why do I have ARK up? Because ARK is a bellwether for further down the risk curve, okay? And is it any surprise that XRP, what did it do? 30% or something? Doge is up a lot. I did a deep dive on both of those over the weekend. I'm not a big fan of altcoins. I think 90% of them, 95% of them, 99% of them are going to zero against Bitcoin. I don't think they're long-term holds. I think they're speculative vehicles. However, there are certain times in the liquidity cycle where they can perform really, really well and potentially outperform. And so again, much like just if you're a little gamble, you want to have fun with a little speculation. That's the means by which I think they should be viewed. I could be wrong, of course. That's just my opinion. All right, what am I drawing here? Let me let me get rid of this because this is an important chart. ARK. So getting back to why ARK's important is the riskiest names when they start breaking out is when I think you get new money that comes into markets, not only crypto but pulls money in from the sidelines in traditional finance, and we still see a historic amount of liquidity on the sidelines in traditional financial markets and money markets. And so, if we're going back on ARK all the way back, okay, we had our little deviation spring. All right. And then we've got what I consider to be this level of importance here. And why is this level of importance here? Why do I draw that there? Well, here's why. Because here's where the market showed us its hand. Well, it really showed us its hand up here. Rejection of the 30-week stage 3 downtrend confirmed by the rejection on the 30-week moving average. Okay, bounce, preliminary support, failure. Coming back up, couldn't reclaim. Okay, that's what I'm calling 4, and then down to 5. And so this area, this green rectangle, is in fact the most critical pivot point in this entire chart. This area, okay, right here. And where are we now? We're peeking our head above it. In fact, we got a higher high on a weekly. Now the question is that a deviation? We're going to find out next week. Next week, if we get a close below 53.79 in that area, that's potentially a deviation, and maybe we're looking for something like that. However, I suspect it's the opposite. I suspect that potentially this is working its way out of here to make a move up and out, starting a new uptrend, stage 2 breakout. Again, that's not confirmed. The 30-week is starting to coil up. And so RSI also looking very favorable, above 64 on the weekly. And so we're going to see, but this portends, this is very, very good for risk assets. IWM, again, very, very good for not only the small caps, but things like Bitcoin miners. They tend to do well when IWM is performing well. This count I had posted, when was it? Back in February. And right now, again, nothing but sign of strength in this chart right here. We had a spring, jumped over this creek, last point of support, sign of strength, broke out, backing up to this kind of sign of strength, last point of support area. And this just has continuation written all over it for me. Dollar. I wanted to get to the dollar as well. This is my longest video in a while. Maybe we'll see. It doesn't matter. This is all very, very important. This dollar I got wrong, folks. Dollar in the last 7 weeks I've gotten wrong. Okay, I haven't been posting it over the last 7 weeks because I haven't had clarity. However, I got this move right on the dollar right here. I got this move right on the dollar here. This I was calling a sign of weakness. Sign of weakness up at this chart. This is a redistribution. This thing just went all the way back to the top of the range, right? All the way back to the top of the range. Does that mean this is not a redistribution? No. However, if we get a weekly close, above where we are this past week, then I have to rethink this as a redistribution and me being wrong. This could still be a last point of supply, LPSY, like I have here, and range moving down to range lows. Now, I suspect this move is exhausted. Why do I suspect this move is exhausted? Well, because, oh, let me get rid of these drawings. Let's just look at, let's throw the daily chart up. Um, let's see what, let's see what the RSI is doing here. Yeah, I mean, RSI is into the overbought. At a minimum, I would expect some consolidation. You don't have a lot of decisive closes over 70, so this is kind of this is more. There's two types of RSI 70. One is bullish, one's bearish. What's bullish? What does bullish look like? Bitcoin on the daily time frame. I'll show you what bullish looks like. Okay, this is what bullish looks like. Bullish looks like this 70, right? You're getting up and over it, like way over it, and it stays up there. A lot of green, a lot of room. That's bullish. That's bullish, not peeking your head up, right? Like look at peeking your head up. Just peeking your head up, peeking your head up, peeking your head up, right? Not bullish. Where did the market go after that? See where I'm going here, folks? Let's keep doing this. Bitcoin now, where's our RSI? It didn't peek its head up. It is firmly out in front. RSI on the daily 75 got up to 84. That's bullish. This, where did it go? Here it is. This is not bullish. This is weak movement over 70. In fact, it's under 70 now, 69. That's peeking your head up. That's peeking your head up. That is bearish. So range lows, in my opinion, are next. Now, if RSI looked like this, then I'd have some problems with my thesis, right? If RSI was like, got up to 82, right, and was doing this, like, and you had all this space under here, that would be a concern. But it's not. And so the thesis here is still reversal imminent starting next week is my guess. Could be wrong, but that is again another major tailwind for risk assets, and so that lines up with me thinking everything is ready to go for its next round, folks. That's it for the video. Appreciate your participation and have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks. Members, I'm going to be keeping some videos coming out as well. Keep the requests coming. I really enjoy that. Take care.